The next bill on the calendar for the day is Senate File 280. The clerk will report the bill.
Senate File number 280, number 10 on the calendar for the day, an act relating to state government.
I recognize the author, Representative Knobloch, who will explain the bill.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker, members. Senate File 280, which was House File 488, identical to what passed in the Senate, is the contract ratification bill for 6 different labor contracts. 4 of them are MNSCU-related contracts: the Minnesota State University, Administrative and Service Faculty, the college faculty, the interfaculty organization, and the MNSCU personnel plan for administrators, as well as the Minnesota Nurses Association and the Minnesota Law Enforcement Association, which includes the state troopers, the employees of the BCA, and our conservation agents. Members, these are contracts that normally would have been ratified last year, but because they were in arbitration, the legislature adjourned last year before they were available to be before the legislature. They are in effect because the Legislative Commission on Employment Relations previously had voted them into effect last fall after the arbitration was over. So this is the formal vote that we need to ratify these contracts, and I would urge your support.
There are no amendments at the desk. The clerk will give the bill its third reading.
Third reading, Senate File number 280.
Third reading. Discussion. Discussion to the bill. The member from Hennepin, Representative Carlson.
Yes, Mr. Chairman, members, I too would, as a co-sponsor of the bill, like to encourage a yes vote on the contract ratifications. It's important that we address this here today, and would appreciate support from both sides of the aisle.
Member from Wabasha, Representative Drazkowski.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Members, I would encourage a no vote on this bill. This collection of private sector or public sector contracts extends a set of them that came forward to us in the last biennium with very similar provisions, providing for very large salary increases for these particular groups. And the amount of increases, if you'll recall, members, those of you that were here last year, the increases were anywhere from 6 or 7% to 13 or 14% increases, depending on whether or not the particular employee reached the top of their steps or not. If they didn't reach the top of their steps, which are about 50% of the employees throughout the employee groups, you receive that higher amount. This is out of step with the reality of what's going on in the private sector. You see and have heard that the median wage of Minnesota families has actually decreased between 2007 and 2013. The latest data that the U.S. Census Bureau has provides that the median family incomes in Minnesota have decreased $4,320. And we continue to spend more on things around government. This is a huge government driver, the amount that we pay for our labor. And I would encourage a no vote to reflect a sentiment that would urge something that is more in step with what the private sector provides. Thank you, Mr. Speaker.
The member from Blue Earth, Representative Cornish.
Mr. Speaker and members, like some of the evidence on LPR data, Representative Drazkowski's figures have no basis in reality. There is the problem here is that we always bring up steps and lane increases. They actually save the state money. When you go into the negotiation process, you sit down with the labor and the management, and you got so much money to deal with, and some people want a lot of money, and they don't always get it. And sometimes the requests are at inflation. Sometimes the governor puts in salary subs. Sometimes he doesn't. Sometimes if they don't have the salary subs, they have to take it out of their operating budget. But at any rate, sometimes certain groups of people are saying, no, you're not going to have as much as you want this year, and other lanes will. And it actually reduces the total amount that the state government spends on employees. So it can go both ways, and there's been a number of years when our valued state employees that do a lot of this work have actually taken 0 and 0. So I enjoy a lot of benefits here at the legislature that regular people don't get, and I think that state employees are entitled to the same option. Thank you.
Member from Ramsey, Representative Lilly.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker and members. I'm glad that we're doing this. I'm a little jealous of Representative Knobloch. I mean, this is only going to take a couple minutes. I think last time I had to do it for a couple hours or something, but boy, you're good. I just want to speak in favor of this, the bill. These are part of our team. You know, we set policies here and we set forth agenda around the state of doing good work. Correction workers, these are our college workers. They're good people. They took a freeze for about 3 years. I think Chair Knobloch mentioned it. And they're very much vital part of our team, like our team is here. And I hope that Representative Anderson's watching here and treats our own staff well as well. But we can talk that another day, I think. But please support this.
The author of the bill from Sherburne, Representative Knobloch.
Mr. Speaker, members, I don't have my file here, but I believe I remember that the total increase in cost for these contracts over the biennium was 6.44%. And so while it's certainly possible that there's some employee among the tens of thousands of employees that are covered here that are getting a 13% raise, my understanding is that the total average cost is something in the 6.4% range. And as Representative Lilly mentioned earlier, there's a large group of these employees that went without any raise for 3 years in a row, just starting with the first year going back of the last biennium. And so, members, I would urge you to support the bill.
There being no further discussion, the clerk will take the roll. Members, please vote. The clerk will close the roll. There being 116 ayes and 15 nays, the bill is passed and its title agreed to.